Welcome to Blabbit. I'm Paul Geiger.
And I'm Glen Ingram. You may already know us from our Friday broadcast, seen worldwide, where we bring expert guests to talk about personal branding, sales presentation, and public speaking.
We want to take you behind the scenes and give you private access to proven techniques, timely tips, and weekly coaching that gets results.
So we're inviting you to our 12-week boot camp to improve these skills.
Each of us has had years of performance success, training, and coaching in public speaking, sales, and personal branding.
If you're looking to hone these skills, increase your sales, or simply become a better communicator, you'll love the bits that we share. Take a look.
Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Geiger. I am a New York City public speaking coach and presentation expert. I've been working with people for almost 12 years now on how to get a message across with real clarity, which we all know is the secret to being a really good public speaker or being a good presenter when it comes to sales, or even really having a clear personal branding message. A lot of the techniques that I teach were a part of the book that I wrote in 2017, Better Business Speech. And many of the timely articles that have relevance to 2019, 2020, and beyond are featured in Forbes. So I am a member of the Forbes expert panel. Weekly training is going to get you those results. I look forward to helping you discover and arrive.
Hey guys, this is Glenn Ingram. Many of you may have heard of me or seen me on webinars across the internet. I just want to tell you a little bit about my background so you understand why I'm helping you with sales, presentations, and personal branding. I've been working in sales, marketing, and advertising for about 20 years now. As many of you know, I worked for one of those large phone books. Not only was I one of the leading salespeople in the country, I then took over training and education to help other salespeople hone their skills, become better at communicating, and understanding a true sales process. So it was through that I was able to advance in that company and then start my own. That, to this date, we've been in business almost a decade. We've sold millions of dollars worth of digital marketing, digital advertising, and we constantly are helping other marketers across the world hone their skills to be better so that they can grow their agencies. Very few people actually have processes. And without a process,
Mhm.
I think you're constantly kind of just twisting in the wind a little bit. It's hard to know why something worked or why something didn't. So that's one thing I think is going to be beneficial for everyone that joins Blabbit is to really have a true, tried and true sales process to help them from the time they contact people to know what activity they need to the end when they're signing that contract and what do they do after the customer says yes.
We're going to see how all of this ties together with what I have found over the years to be a very consistent pattern of the way that people like to hear things and really derive listening satisfaction. And so much of it, as you're going to see, really applies itself to storytelling. There are three things that you need to consider when it comes to listening behaviors. Three things that you need to do. You need to be able to use bumper stickers. You need to bow to the rule of three, and you need to master the vertical unfolding. The reason it's called a bumper sticker is because too often I have worked with individuals who are not able to talk about what their topic is in a very succinct manner. And it has to be right in the beginning. And that's why it's number one on the list of listening behaviors. What I mean by bow to the rule of three, we like things in threes. We don't like to be overwhelmed by more than three. Having to process three ideas in any one sitting is enough. And it also feeds into that idea of listening satisfaction. What do I mean by mastering the vertical unfolding? Starting off with the conclusion, starting off with the overarching theme with the 40,000-foot view is really important. Then going down to the rule of three, your three ideas. More details are the weeds, and they're down here. So this is a vertical unfolding. And when you think about it, any good story has that structure.
All right, guys, let's talk about closing techniques. Now, sometimes a closing technique may seem this is what I'm doing at the end of my presentation, just ask for the sale. But in reality, there are a lot of times that you can use trial closes throughout the presentation, because what you want to be able to do is anytime you can get your client shaking their head for a period of time, it's going to increase the probability that they'll be shaking their head like this when you ask for the business. So one thing to keep in mind, if you've asked for something, if you've asked your clients if they can see themselves using this, if they can see themselves benefiting from this, or if they just come up with an objection as you're having a conversation, you can always use the feel, felt, found method. And how that works is, I understand how you feel, Mr. Customer. I've worked with other customers that felt blah, 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 blah. Now, what we've found is when they do this, this is the positive that comes out of it. This is the benefit that comes out of it. So if it sounds routine or like you're reading a script, it's not good. But if you can have a conversation and be more comfortable using feel, felt, found, that's going to help you overcome objections and keep everything moving in a positive direction. There are a lot of little things that we can be doing during the conversation, asking them conversations, if this makes sense, if they can see this, if they can see that. It's always good to, again, have a conversation and kind of like you're building blocks up to the top of the pyramid to where, yes, they're ready to buy with you. Let's talk about some different type of closing techniques at the end of the presentation. And this can happen anywhere through the presentation that it can suddenly end. Let's say you're promoting a service, a product, whatever. And the customer says, well, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you add this? One good solid close is the if then. Well, if I can add that, Mr. Customer, then are you ready to start today? If I can do that, Mrs. Customer, can we get started right now? A, you're going to find out what their temperature is and how serious they are about doing that. So if a customer is giving you buying signs, if they're saying, can you do this? Can I get this or whatever? Those are good things. Identify them now and test the temperature of the room to see what's going on.
We have the mentor story is number one. The overcoming challenges story is number two. The overcoming challenges story, and again, these are stories that you do want to take some time and really think about, because having these stories in your back pocket makes the obligation of having to connect with people online, on the phone, whatever it is, a lot easier. When you know you have these stories in your back pocket, it gives you a lot of confidence. You already know what you want to talk about. So those are the stories that I want you to focus on in preparation to finding this better way of connecting. And it really is the way that you make that connection with people, because listening behaviors being what they are, stories are going to check the boxes. What I mean by that is that you want your stories, or rather, listeners want to hear about you that you have four things. They want to know that you have experience, understanding, aspiration, and ability. Now, that may seem like a lot, but the good news is by telling a story, you can often check multiple boxes. Now, I understand that the logic of all of this makes perfect sense. And as I'm often fond of saying, as I'm coaching and training and teaching people, you will understand the concepts. That's easy. The difficult part is the execution. So let's talk about that for just a moment. In other words, I get it, Paul. The mentor story, that'll connect with everybody. I get it. Overcoming challenges story, leadership story sounds like a really complete package. I understand. I've got to show them I'm experienced, that I understand the situation. I have a clear understanding of what I'm proposing that I can do for them. My aspirations are in line with theirs. And also I have the ability to make good on the promises that I'm making. But how do I get into telling these stories? That seems like the most disjointed, disconnected thing, to suddenly launch into a story that nobody asked me to tell.
When they look for you online, do you have the proper credentials, the proper professional information up there that's going to help them be more convinced to contact you? I think this is more important than it ever has been, as people are going to look up to see whom they're thinking about contacting. And again, it may be because you reached out to them, you did some type of solicitation of them, or it could just be that a friend, a client, a colleague of yours is actually recommending you for their services. They're going to do a little bit of homework on you. So I want to go over what I think are the basics, the foundations, the fundamentals that really you need to be make sure you're prepared for when you're going to be conducting business in 2020, 2021, and beyond. When you are creating your professional brand, first and foremost, you have to have a professional website. So this is a website that's going to convey information easily and clearly, and website that is easy for them to contact you in whichever manner you're looking to get contacts. It's very imperative in this day and age to have other people saying nice things about you, how good it is to work with you, what you've been able to do to help them. So as you'll see as we go down this list, from your website, we need to have testimonials up there, and video testimonials look more legit than just writing up a testimonial from Jim H, from Beth Y. Because let's be honest, we can fake those. And people really want to, people are lazy in this day and age, let's be honest. So if we can have video testimonials up there from clients talking about how good it is to work with you, your website is going to be your online resume, why they would work with you for whatever services they want to work with you. So make sure you keep it in a terms that anyone can understand. So try and make things as easy and simple as possible while still looking professional. I think LinkedIn is the key B2B right now in 2020 and moving into 2021. So it is probably more important right now to have someone that specializes in LinkedIn really look at your profile, really make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Blabbit training can take your career or business to the next level. So we're offering a Black Friday discount to anyone who knows they're ready.
This promo will expire Sunday, November 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get it while it's hot.
Click on the link to get your access to Blabbit.